What if they told you that there's a country smaller than many states, yet richer than most nations? Yes, the Netherlands have become wealthy even though it doesn't have many natural resources, but because of several smart decisions and plans they've made. The location is great. It's close to Germany, the UK, Scandinavia, and France, and just minutes from Luxembourg. Plus, they speak English better than most Brits, which is really impressive. The Dutch are great at sharing their opinions. You can ask any Dutch person about anything, and they'll have a thoughtful answer. This is a big part of who they are. Even kids can share their views in a smart way. During the Enlightenment, smart thinkers and engineers made a big impact. They welcomed people from all over and were open to different religions. Portuguese Jews played a significant role in this. They have invested in education for a long time. In 1760, their education levels were already high for that time. Today, the country has the most PhDs per person. They study a lot. There are many incentives for studying here. Every EU or EER students can apply for 2 grants, a supplementary grant and a travel product for free public transportation. They can also apply for 2 loans, but they need to work 56 hours a month to be eligible. This way, they support the system that helps them by paying taxes. Basically, in this country, people are very equal in many ways. The salaries are similar, more so in other countries. For example, a waiter usually earns about 1,500 euros, and a designer can earn about 2,500 euros a month. People can make good money, and there are no strict hierarchies. If you work well, you can move up in society. However, people often think in similar ways, so you might not hear many unique ideas. But nobody is really poor here, and those who are have all the benefits they can get. Traditional capitalism started here over 400 years ago, so they are ahead of other countries. They had great industrial growth during the Industrial Revolution and always keep up with market trends. They focus on what really matters and don't worry about things that don't. Dutch people are very individualistic and think about themselves first before others. It's interesting that the most individualistic societies becomes the most prosperous overall. Individualism can be very good for a nation. You shouldn't rely on others, and Dutch people always try not to rely on anyone. The Dutch are great at seeing what's happening in the world and copying it for their own businesses. But when it comes to human behavior, they don't follow other countries' rules. They are always up to date with the newest innovations and around the world. They live in the 21st century and don't mind guiding and learning from others. They are very aware people. Their land is flat, making it easier to transport goods, communicate, and trade. Transparency is very common among Dutch people. They care about progress and practicality. If something doesn't work, they move on from it. About 70% of conversations with Dutch people are about discounts, freebies, or finding ways to save a few cents at the supermarket. Honestly, they value every cent and see saving money as a big win. They don't always understand why foreigners spend money on things without getting something back in return. How do you think Dutch people's view on money and time shows their daily priorities and values? The people often avoid buying new cars, and if they do, they opt for some of the cheapest models. They are always thinking about saving money, seeing every cent they spend as an investment, not just a cost. Dutch people are also really good at managing their time efficiently, making sure to accomplish a lot. So, if a Dutch person spends time with you, it's because they truly value you. Every Dutch person focuses all their energy on being smart and getting value from everything they do. They aim to make every second of their life as effective as possible. Every single second counts. It's not just most people. We'd say 95% of Dutch people are like this. Even when they do go out or to dinner, they always think about how to make the most of their time and resources. A Dutch person is always thinking about how to make money from this, or at least how he can spend the least. They are always careful with every penny. They don't waste time on things that might not add value. In every situation, they are thinking about what they can gain. They live smartly, and that's what makes a Dutch person stand out. They've always had a fight to survive because their country is so small and has so many people. They're not politically correct, and that's a good thing. They're not afraid to say exactly what they think. First, they care about facts. Whether you feel offended comes second.
What is one Dutch stereotype that you actually agree with? You're the Dutch.
They are always very direct.
I agree with that. I'm quite direct.
Are you both direct, would you say?
Yes.
Very.
Very. In which way?
In every way, I think.
Every way, yeah.
well,
First we say something and then we think about it.
Yeah, we can
We're
be,
both
yeah.
direct, yeah.
Like
definitely.
in which way? Like if I ask your opinion, you'll tell me what you think.
Yeah, we'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
Are you direct, both of you?
Not always, no.
I've heard that I am, so yeah, I'm direct.
In which sense? Do you tell people what you think?
Always. Always. I'm just honest.
According to Dutch logic, feeling offended is mostly your responsibility. You might feel offended by many things, but you're expected to control yourself and act maturely. The Dutch gained a lot from slavery and tough conditions for people. They traded slaves from around the world and were the last European country to end slavery. Many people became wealthy by investing in the VOC stock market, which was the richest company in the world, worth much more than Apple is today. You know, they always prioritize practicality. They are not too concerned with being fancy. They just want what works best. They know the world is always changing, so they focus on moral values and common sense when solving problems. What works best for them. They see the law more as a guide than something strictly to follow. Actually, Netherlands has a strong economy that competes well in Europe and globally. It's a good place for foreign businesses to invest because it's stable and offers good rewards. The Netherlands has a higher GDP per person of over $1.1 trillion. It's the 17th largest economy in the world than most European countries and many others worldwide. It's known for being really good at business on the world stage. In fact, it's ranked as Europe's most competitive economy and 4th in the world by the World Economic Forum. It's also 5th in the Global Innovation Index for 2020. The Netherlands is in a great spot geographically. You can reach 95% of Europe's biggest market within a day's drive from Amsterdam to Rotterdam. They have really good roads, trains, canals, and ports that makes it easier to get around the country and other places in Europe. The Netherlands is all about encouraging people to start businesses. They focus on new ideas, being eco-friendly, and using technology. This makes them a top choice for big international companies. In the Netherlands, businesses team up with universities and the government to work on future stuff like farming, money stuff, and super advanced tech. They're really good at this, so good that in 2022, the Europe said that they're the 4th best country for coming up with new ideas. Everyone wonder what it's like living in Northern Europe. Honestly, there's not much to do besides work in all of Northern Europe. The weather is usually bad, so you're pretty much stuck with work. There aren't many alternatives and everything closes early, around 6 p.m. Even if you want to do something, there aren't many options available. Plus, dealing with the cold, wind, and poor waiter service can be frustrating. But what they appreciate about living there is that it pushes you to work every day. There aren't many other choices really. Unlike the Southern Europe, where people enjoy long meals and socializing, Northern Europe's are more reserved. On average, they make one new friend every 2 years. They focus more on being smart with their time and money and less on social activities like dining and joking. What do you think about these cultural differences?
They always complain about everything, about the weather or other people.
They always complain.
Yeah, about
Really?
everything.
Yeah.
About the weather, about the crowd, about everything, yes.
Yeah.
Is it because the weather is quite terrible, or is it just the style of people?
It's so good living in Holland, so you complain about everything. When we're in another country, we can always pick out the Dutch.
Really, how can you notice the Dutch? How do they stand out?
The tourists in another country, the way they're dressed, you know, what they wear, how they behave, always complaining. Oh, look, the coffee's here, €4. Always complaining.
They don't spend much time on things that don't show clear potential. They're practical and down to earth. This makes the country efficient but sometimes lacking the excitement or vibrant spirit. While they make good money, life there can feel a bit empty compared to Portuguese people are used to. It seems like life is more about achieving goals and adding value rather than just living and enjoying the moment. They also notice a strong focus on adding value all the time, which doesn't feel as fulfilling in the long run. Dutch society can seem a bit empty sometimes. People don't just hang out for the sake of it or do things spontaneously. Everything seems planned or organized. As Southern Europeans, they prioritize enjoying life above everything else. However, living there will teach them to manage their time better and invest wisely in their life. Still, kindness and being nice are values which they won't compromise on. In Netherlands, you can feel free, but you don't feel like you completely belong there. They would like to say that it's a country that is still developing and evolving. This feeling of incompleteness motivates the Netherlands to become wealthier and more successful. What are your thoughts on this topic? Share your perspective in the comments. If you found this helpful, show your support with a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.